Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tier 2 race at sunny Spa. Loads of clouds everywhere. I'm just going to get my but my co-coms back in. Give us a second. Fuck are you? There we go, across great. Yep, so welcome to FPRL's Season 2 race for this week at Spa. It's me, Clatorad, your normal host, alongside.
Oscar, an idiot.
We're just waiting for Crossgree to come back in. It's looking pretty dark out there. A lot of cars are already coming out of the Bix. Sorry. So going by last week, we was at Monaco. We had some surprises in store for us for that race. Anyone you would want to see improve this time around, Crossgree? Mine, I'd like to see Diamond Douche a little bit up there. He did suffer quite a lot in Monaco last weekend. Same with Gary and TJ. There was a couple others out there, Monkey, Lexus, all had pretty bad races last week.
Yeah, I think you kind of named the right people there. You know, these are guys. I suppose Monaco is one of them tracks that can maybe get away with it, but it was definitely an opportunity that it was lost. You know, that other guys could have crashed out. But looking forward to this week, you know, more leaders won the last two races on the bounce. Interested to see can he make it three. One guy I'm really looked out for is actually the Williams driver, Nat. It was his debut last week, got P3, so can he continue that there and push away in this champ half of this season?
Yeah, so we got our first set of cars going around the track now. We've got Brady's Call just coming into the end of Sector 2 now. 1:15.3. It's a little bit slower than what Granzi can do. Granzi obviously got pole last weekend, led for most of the race, then crashed it. Oh, he nearly lost the rear end coming out of the bus stop chicane. Going across the line, 1:43.5, so he would have lost a really, really bad chunk of time there. We've also got Brady's Call now. Noah's just crossed the line 1 foot. Oh, the Alpine has got in the way, so that's Biddles would have blocked Brady's Call there. So that will be one for the stewards, I believe. Biddle shakes the straight to say sorry. Let's have a look who we got. We've got a slow moving Mercedes on an outlap. We've got Silverside Boy just coming into the end of Sector 2 now. Let's talk about setups at Koski. Pretty sure everyone's going to go low downforce, as low as they can. It's going to make the car aerodynamically suitable for the track.
Yeah, I think you will see a lot of low downforce setups around here tonight. It's just how powerful that DRS straight is. Just after Erosion Radion, you know, a lot of overtakes are going to be seen there tonight, especially with the low wings. It's just going to make that work a lot more easier for these drivers. Get that move done well before we even think about getting to Lakecombe. So that's probably what I'd be looking out for. You might have one or two guys that are on the higher downforce just for Sector 2. But I can't see many other people going for that kind of way. I think we'll just see a lot of very low downforce setups tonight.
Yeah, so Silverside Boy goes across the line in P7 1:43.9. So far it's pretty tight up the top. These first couple laps, I think people are going to try and get used to the battery deployment. Do you think a lot of people are going to struggle around here due to the fact that most of it is, I would probably say 80% of the track is flat out. It's flat out, so you're going to use more battery than most.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them ones where it's where can you use it, taken for how long. If you can time it right, you've got so much more lap time on the rest of the field. But if you just use it a bit too much in the wrong places, then you're going to have no battery towards the end of the lap, and it's just going to cost you heaps of time. There'll be one thing definitely to look out for as these drivers come towards the end of their lap, if they have enough battery on board for the last chicane and the exit.
So we've just seen Nat go into P1 in the Williams on a set of medium tyres. It gives him a 6/10 difference. Do you think there's much, well, surely that people are going to see that and think why and how has he managed to go to first in medium tyres?
It's the only thing I could think of would be overheating of the tires through the second sector. Maybe the mediums are a bit better through the second sector, but not to be up in provisional pole at the minute on them. I would have thought the sauce definitely would have been a lot quicker. Maybe it's just he does have the pace at the minute on these first set of runs, and we'll see the rest of the drivers towards the end of the session get their times on the boards and maybe push into the mid 42s.
I've just seen Cruz invalidate his first lap along with Biddle. He did do a 14.8 in the middle sector, and that was nearly 6 tenths quicker than what P9 Gent would have done. So that would have put him around P3, but after the first sets of laps around here, we've got we've got 4 cars left to do their laps. Biddle's still in the pits. He went out for a run and proper muffed it up, and we've got Remaster just coming out the end of sector 1 into sector 2, and we've got Liam just coming in to the last set of corners now. Nearly loses the rear end coming into the bus stop. DRS wide open across the line. He goes P7 with a 143.7. So cross screen pretty tight up at the top. P3 to P10. It's only separated by 3.5 tenths.
I'm surprised for how long of a track that it is, how many corners we do have. There's plenty of time to be lost. Seems like these guys are kind of getting the consistent pace down at the minute. To be having only a 3/10 gap between that kind of field, you'd be happy enough to see that, and I think that gap will only come down the longer we go on in this session. We'll probably see that close in, maybe by another tenth and a half.
Yeah, we'll just follow in with Silverside boys. One of the only drivers out there is doing a second flying lap. So he's done a cool down lap and then he's going for another one. Just coming into the end of sector 2 now. Let's see if he's picked up any time or lost time on his second run. He's a little bit wide now. He's nearly 2 seconds down. So looks like the tyres are only lasting a lap round here. Everyone coming out quite quickly. Do you think there's rain on the way, or do you just personally think because it's such a long lap they've got to? Because you put in a lap and an out lap together, it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, it could be a bit of both with how overcast it does look on track at the minute. We all know Belgium is notorious for the rain, so that could be a slight possibility, but it is, as you say, it's quite a long out lap and fast lap, just over 3 minutes. So these guys are trying to do 3 runs, they need to be out on track straight away and near enough starting their second flying laps to try to get a good look at the third flying lap at the end of this session.
Yeah, so Nat still is in provisional pole on the medium tyre, so he can easily go faster if he gets the lap all sorted out on the soft tyres. Do you want to take the viewers around with Fish Sticks in the McLaren's just about to start his lap cross screen?
Yeah, so we're just coming out of the bus stop chicane, just trying to set it up nicely, get a good exit towards the start-finish line. Gets the DRS open, slight bit of the overtake as we come down to La Source. Very important corner, try to get the exit right. You got such a long straight, getting through Rouge, ready on them. DRS open back through the Camel Straight. Just uses a bit of his overtake now through Rouge. Make sure he can keep this flat as straight a line as possible as he does. Just clip the inside curb, slight little wiggle at the back end, but that's not going to cause him too much. Get to the start of this Camel Straight. DRS is wide open. Going to use a good bit of his overtake, so he is happy enough with his battery at the end of this lap. Went down towards Lecom, needs to get it right. Gets the car turned in. Second part gets that nice right. Gets the car turned beautifully back over to the left of the final part. As you get down to one of the slowest corners of the track. Runs slightly wide, but that will give him a slightly better, straighter exit as you get down towards No Name, just trying to feed the car in. Lets it run out wide just towards the curb now to pull on. Very real confidence corner here. Does he lift? He has a slight lift. I'm not surprised by it, but he does get the car tucked in pretty nicely. We come towards the Lafanya chicane. The car turned in. It's very easy to understeer there on the exit. Keep it out of the gravel down towards Stavilo. Now again, it's all about the exit out of these next 2 corners. Quite a long straight now towards we get to the Blanchimont. It's the overtake which he does, so now it's just a bit of a rest period. Blanchimont now is nothing really of a corner now with these kind of cars, so he's flat out all the way to the bus stop chicane, just trying to take as tight a line as he can. Try to carry some sort of time off as you get to the bus stop. Heavy on the brakes, can he get it turned in? He does nicely, with a slight snap at the rear. It'll cost him a bit of time, gets the DRS open on the end, does it, run out of battery, and it's a 143.8. Not really a great improvement from Fishsticks.
No, so I think he's going to have enough time for one more lap. Who else we got? Monkey's decided to pull into the pits on his second flying lap. He's invalidated his. Got Squid's just up to 2 tenths now. This will put him in a mix between 7th and 8th. Let's see what he comes out in sector 2 in the Red Bull. Up to sector 2 now. Yeah, he's 6 tenths up. Purple second sector. So this is one of the, apart from up Eau Rouge and down the first straight, this is the other fastest part of the straight. You're going to want to be full throttle all the way down to the bus stop chicane. He unfortunately has used all of his battery now, so he's going to stuff all the way down this straight onto the main straight now. Takes it to corners nice and brilliant, and then it comes across the line, and he's gone P6 with 6 tenths. So these drivers, of course, he's still trying and struggling to try and beat Nat's time.
Yeah, it's really well. We've seen there with Squid, he did run out of battery quite early towards the end of the lap. Maybe if he thinks just using a little bit less battery here and there saves it for the end of the lap, he'll be able to gain another maybe tenth or two. That puts him right with Nat, but at the minute it just seems Nat's in a league of his own. The fact that he set that on mediums, what's he going to set on the softs? How much of a gap can he create? If Groundsy can't respond, it looks like Nat's going to have this pole position.
Yeah, Monkey Boy's not going to be happy, or anyone that does no line. I've just seen Silside Boy take the widest line into turn, well, it's going to be turn 4, I think, at the end of the straight. Taking out the brake board, so just watch out for them drivers that are on no line. It might not be one there, but he is 3.5 tenths up, coming into his last sets of laps now. So this is going to be putting him around Bread Cool, Diamond, Yorkie situation. Gary has, also Side Boy, has saved a lot more battery this time round, so he is using it down his back straight. He's going to have a nice little burst to the start-finish line. Gone a bit wide though, coming into the bus stop chicane. It takes a nice exit line. DRS is wide open. That's going to put him up into P11. So he would have lost a bit. He lost about 2 tenths just into the bus stop, just going by that slightly wide. We've got Remaster just coming into the start of his lap. Looks like he's had a backed out lap. Cruise down in P20 cross screen. Looks like he's suffering. He's invalidated his lap again. So it's both his qualifying laps and 2 new sets of tyres he's invalidated.
Definitely not what he needed. Now he has to try to get these tyres changed very quickly for one last run. 3.5 minutes, saying a minute to get in and out. You're looking 2.5 minutes to get an out lap, get the tyres sufficiently warmed up. It could be a bit of a call for him, especially if there is going to be traffic with everybody coming out at the same time, it looks like.
Yeah, up in P5 is Biddle, who had a strong race last time out in Monaco. It's only a couple tenths off, but this year he looks a little bit more comfortable with this game, cross screen, compared to the previous seasons.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that's kind of his sort of game this year. He has started to find the confidence. Start of the season wasn't the best for him, but now he's got a good rack of points under his belt, especially with that first podium of the season last week in Monaco. That's only going to breed more confidence. If he can do it around Monaco, he can surely do it around here. And to be only, 2 tenths, 3 tenths off the pace, it looks like it could be another good night for Biddle.
Yeah, I'm just watching that. We've all been waiting for. He's come out on the soft tyres. He's giving it a little wiggle down the straight, trying to get them warmed up. And let's see if he can improve on his lap of a 1:42.9, which he did do in mediums. So by rights, he should go a little bit faster. Yorkie's decided to retire in the pits, so that's him done. It's just coming through the lovely Eau Rouge now into end of sector 1. DRS wide open. Let's take a look at the top end speed of the Kick Sauber. It's about 208 miles an hour, so not the fastest, Croxy, what I would have expected to see.
No, I would think these guys are getting in around 213 area. It's such a long DRS straight and a quite low downforce setup. It's just actually riding on board with Nat as he's coming up towards this DRS straight. He will get a bit of a toe, so we'll see what his top end speed compares to. As I say that, he's only getting 208 as well, so maybe they're running slightly higher than what we thought so far.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's Noah is coming into the end of sector 2. He was up on his time. He actually posted a purple first sector, which was beaten then by Nat. There's going to be a lot of traffic in this last sector for him. So he's 2.5 temps up. So that's going to put him nicely just around where Biddle is. But all the drivers in front of him are still waiting to go on their lap. Eagle is just about to start his, going up Eau Rouge. Let's go on board with him and see if he takes his flat out up Eau Rouge or he lifts off. Lovely, takes it flat out. That's what he'd like to see. Let's go back to Nat, and Nat is 8 temps up on his lap. It looks like, unless he does something really bad in the last sector, it looks like it's going to be provisional pole by him by at least a second, unless Groundsy's starting his lap now. But Nat is going to get a little bit of a tow from the Aston Martin coming across the line. He's going to use it, and it is a 1:42.1, so he improved by 9 tenths of a second. So let's see, Cross Street, who is going to beat. Do you think they'll be beaten, or do you think he's got this in the bag?
Well, he set the benchmark pretty high, 8 tenths gap to the next closest driver, which is Grindy, and he hasn't even improved on his first sector. So at the minute, it looks like it's one and done, and as we say, that Matt actually retires on track. So that's not going to help his causes next week. But I can't really see anybody getting over 9 tenths. So you're saying a second improvement in a lap? I just can't see it. I know we have a long lap here, but I just think it's a bit too high of a mountain to climb for these guys.
Yeah, we've got Fish Sticks just moving to P6, so that was a decent last lap for him. The only person up at the minute is Squid. Biddle's invalidated. Midfield Marshall is about 2 and a bit temps down. Eagle runs wide. Groundsy is still down. Let's have a look at Diamond Douche. He's slightly up, nearly half a temp up. See what he can load around into the end of sector 2. Let's have a look, see if he can improve on his lap time. He's invalidated, he's run wide, so he's going to stick P8. But Brett is cool though, he's on the move, he's going to get a decent tow here. He's 4.5 temps up, so this at the minute, it's going to put him into P2, Cross Street.
That's all if he can keep with it here towards the last sector. As you say, he is getting a great tow, what looks like one of the Red Bulls of Liam, I think. All depends now. Again, he doesn't have much battery to the end. It's actually a V carb that's in front of him. It hasn't held him up much. He's going to get that nice little toe just towards the line. Can he get to P2? He
Yes,
does.
he can.
Brilliantly by 200ths.
Hold on to British Cool, P2 on the last lap. So that looks like everyone has done their laps, apart from Lexus. He's coming across the line now. Not too sure where it said he was. Lexus managed to get into P9 in the end. So decent last lap by him.
Got the lap time down when he needed it. It was a near 11.5 seconds improvement. Just showed how poor his first couple of runs were, but he managed to make it in the end, get a good P9.
So there you go, guys. Our provisional or pole sitter is Nat in the Williams with a 1:42.1, comfortably beating British Cool by nearly 7 temps. And then to finish off the top 3 again with brilliant qualified is Groundsy. So it's going to be very important for British Cool and Groundsy to try and get past Nat, because I don't think if they do, I think Nat, unless something happens, is going to run away with this, being such a massive gap, unless he's a qualified merchant and his race pace is not as bad. But anyone in there disappointed you? Cruz managed to get up to P7 in the end on his last 5 laps, so he did alright. But again, got TJ down the bottom, still suffering. You even got Silverside Boy down there in P16.
It's not a great night for either of them guys. To be honest, it really hasn't been a great season for either of them. They just really haven't been able to kick off the mark. I've really been saying every week, they need to get it off the mark, and I thought that was their week. Just seems not to have been working for TJ, Gary, or Monkey. Fish Sticks P10, he does have a bit better race pace, so I could see him being a slight improvement. And again, it's Diamond Douchey down to P11. I thought he might have been able to get a bit higher in the field, but we'll see. It's 22 laps around here, quite a distance. And to be honest, these front two need to get past Nat through turn 1 if they stand any chance in this race. 'Cause at the minute it looks, Nat's going to run away with this one.
Yeah, I'll probably agree on you with that one. I'm hoping for a little bit of rain. It will spice things up. Just looking a bit dark, but similar conditions as qualifying. Yeah, I'd like to see obviously Silverside Boy. I know TJ is struggling a lot at the minute in Tier 2, so it's going to be damage limitations for him, but he did have a good end to the race last weekend, just missed out on points, I believe. Um, but yeah, Silverside Boy's stuffing around here. I think it's one of his good tracks. He's always been quite good round Spa, so I don't know if it's down to him being on full traction and obviously no traction, medium traction, and certain corners are going to be more powerful, especially coming out into turn one and the bus stop chicane. You're going to lose out big time with full traction. It's going to continue all the way up to Eau Rouge and to the end of the straight.
Then again, he can gain that back. It's just amount if he can gain enough back at Lake Calm, he'd be able to get on the power that slight bit earlier. But we'll soon find out. Maybe he will have the better race pace. Try to get some good points tonight. It'd be good to see for him. This hasn't been the season that I don't think he wanted.
No, not too far ago. He's in chat telling it's the setup, so he's either gone too high of a wing or he's gone too low for wing. One of the two. So you know, these boys have to practice before start, and you know, you got to go one way or got to go the other. So he's obviously done a gamble, and obviously not paid off. Unless it's going to rain, and he knows it, and that's why he's gone for more aero. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Obviously, going by tier 3, there was a lot of there was a couple safety cars. So yeah, even though it's a fast circuit, there's only a certain amount of points where you can overtake, and it's basically the straights, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your two big points are your straights at the Lake Calm chicane and at the bus stop. Apart from that, if you can get a good run out of the bus stop, you might be able to have a good look at the sauce. But apart from that, you're really going to be right behind each other through the middle sector alone. There's not really many good overtaking chances. And if you do find a chance, you're going to have to make it stick because it is going to be quite hard to run two by two.
Well, in the chat, David is saying raining in 5 to 10 minutes time. I don't know if he is taking the mick or I don't know if he engineers for fish tonight. So 5 to 10 minutes, of course, we could spice things up. So I'm going to go quickly for a toilet just in case it does rain and extend the Grand Prix. Okay.
No problem at all, buddy. So if that is the case, we're all used to rain around Belgium. Been it a few times before, especially I think the most notorious one, Spa 98. I think it's 13 drivers involved. When David Coulthard decided to hit a wall out of La Sauce, 13 drivers involved, four drivers fully DNF'd. That was the time they had the T cars. There's always a third car in the garage ready for someone, and thankfully most of them use that. But as we say that, we do get underway for our formation lap. Although ads isn't here, we are looking at a few soft runners. So if anything is to go with what David says, maybe that is the case that rain will be here 5-10 minutes. So especially with Nat and Brett is cool, both on the soft, so they both think the rain's going to come pretty soon. Guys on the mediums, just hope that rain just stays away that little bit longer, forces these soft guys either to lose too much pace or we'll have to box again for another set of slick tires before they can get onto the intermediates. But if this is true that the rain is going to come, then it looks like we're going to have a feisty race. But we'll quickly go through the grid as it's going to be quite a long lap. We have Fardo in P20 on the mediums. P19 is Hirsch also on the mediums. The first of our soft runners though is Brewmaster, hoping for this rain to come. P18, TJ P17 on the mediums. Liam P16 for the Red Bull. Another one on the softs. Gary and Monkey Boy take 14th and 15th, both on mediums. And then we have Yorkie and Noah, both on softs. And they're starting P12 and P13. And P11 for tonight on the mediums is going to be Diamond Duchy.
Yeah, and in P10 we have Fish Sticks in the McLaren, who's on the medium tyres. We have Lexus going off track, he's on the medium tyres. We've got Big Boss Man in P8, Biddle, starting on the medium. We've got Cruz in front, looking to gain positions at the start on soft tyres. Midfield Maestro in P6 in the Mercedes on medium. Then we got Squid in P5. Brilliant last lap to qualifying to get him into P5. He's on the medium in the Red Bull. And we got Fisher's teammate of Eagle in the McLaren in P4. He's also on mediums. Groundsy in the Kick Sauber in third on mediums. Then we've got Bredders Cool with a brilliant last lap dash in qualifying. Put him up into P2, but still nowhere near our pole sitter of Nat, my bad, in the Williams on the soft tyres. A mixed grid of soft and medium. If this rain is coming, do you think the soft people have done the correct decision here?
Well, as I was saying, I think it's a massive gamble. I think the guys on the mediums are just got that bigger of a window. These softs, I think, will just run off so quickly. They've probably only got 3 or 4 laps of good tyre use before they are going to start dying off and they're going to start crying for the rain.
And we got Nat pointing his car straight towards Brediscore, and Brediscore's kept his car as straight as he can. So we've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. And we are away for our Tier 2 race at Spa. Brilliant start there by TJ at the back. He got bolted down, but he's made up a position. That makes a good start in P2. We've already got yellow flag, we've got diamond round at the back, we've got Ferrari front wing. Oh dear, it's all happening. Both the Ferraris have lost front wing damage. TJ's been caught up in that at some point. Silverside boy, he's also got no front wing end plate, so we're going to have some pit stops after the first lap. Nat is still in first. Bredders Call is in second, so he managed to get past Groundsy after Groundsy passed him into turn 1. Bredders Call is on them soft tyres, so he's going to have to try and build that gap from behind before the DRS section does open. Eagle, Midfield Marshall, Cruz stay the same. We've got Biddle in P7, but we've had a wicked, oh no, really poor start by Squid. He's moved down to P13.
Definitely not what he wanted. He must have been caught up in something to lose 9 positions. I can't even see, does he have a bit of damage on that car? It doesn't actually look like it, so I don't know if he's just been caught sleeping, as we actually have a McLaren very wide.
Oh, Groundsy smashed it. Oh, how's he done that? He's come. He's gone into the gravel, so he's come a cropper with Eagle. They've tried going obviously side by side through that corner, and it obviously has not worked. So virtual safety car, so Groundsy is out for the second race running now. Do you think we're going to see these soft tyre people come in and go on the hard tyres?
I really can't see it. If they were going to do that, they would have started on the hards. You know, you've kind of made your bed, now you're going to have to sleep in it. You've committed to something on the softs.
So let's
just
have a
to
look.
stick with it and see what happens.
Rouge has come in. He's getting rid of the soft tyres. Anyone else on the soft coming in? Doesn't look like it, but you're going to see it. Yeah, it must be rain. It's going to be raining soon because we've got Gary in the pits, Eagles in the pits, but we've got TJ and TJ's got wing. We've got both of the Ferraris. Pretty sure one's got damage. No? Oh, whose wing was it that went flying there? It must have been Gary's.
No, it wouldn't have been. It would have been Eagle, I seen.
And Gary hasn't put his wing on. Yes, they're not going to be able to change his wing, it don't look like. So he's going to have to pit again. Oh dear. State by Gazza, so he's gone back out with no front left wing end plate. No, but I'm pretty sure I saw a Ferrari front wing pop up. Oh yes, there you go. Lexus has got no front right wing end plate. So that's the end of the virtual safety car, and we are away again. Nat, though, has done a brilliant restart to Bredders Call. 3 seconds gap.
Say that though, TJ's round on the exit and no name. He needs to be careful. He's got some car just passing him. Cruiser gets past that. But yeah, Nat are making out a 3 second gap already, and half of the lap was on the virtual safety car. So it just shows the pace that he has. He must have got a good delta on the virtual safety car, and Bredders Call was just caught napping on it. But interestingly though, the 2 V carbs both went on hard, so obviously they're not seeing the rain coming. So if that's anything to go by, then it looks like we're going to have a dry race for the minute.
Yeah, and Biddle's made a good start. He's made himself from 7th to P4, and also we've got Monkey Boy in the arse. A little bit more comfortable now. He's in P6 in the DRS train of about 7-8 cars. I'd expect to see Silverside Boy when he comes around to pop into the pits to fix that front wing, because he's going to suffer all the way through sector 2 and 3. But up at the front, you've got midfield Marshall, who's now putting Brediscourt under a lot of pressure. Still staying at the 3-second gap up front, but with DRS wide open, the Mercedes driver easily passes Brediscourt into P2 he goes. So his mission now is to try and catch Nat, who's on the soft tyres. Midfield Marshall having a good run here in the medium tyres, so he has advantage at the present moment. Got Noah up into P5, so a reasonably good start by him and Fish Sticks. But we've got the normal Fish Stick train cross-screen.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for the fish train to start calling it at all stations. It looks like it's already started with already, what, 7 cars behind him. Make that 8 if you want to count the Ferrari at the back. But yeah, I think this is going to be a recurring theme this season, it seems. But interestingly though, this guys in second and third, Maestro and Brediscourt, they need to really start working together. Try to use the DRS that they can, try to close this gap in on that. If they both do that, it's really going to help midfield Maestro get that gap closed down when that does have to come in and pit and try to get some sort of an overcut working. We'll see that probably work out towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and Fish Sticks and Monkey, they're both on medium tyres, so they're doing. They've got 2 soft tyre runners behind them, so they're actually doing okay at the minute, staying in front of them. But if Monkey can have a good exit here and up Eau Rouge, it looks like he is going to pass Fish Sticks. Fish Sticks has no aid in front to help him with the DRS, so Monkey should be able to slingshot himself away up Eau Rouge into the. It's going to be 6th place, and we got side by side action here down about. We've got both the Red Bulls and a Rue Master making his way up into P10 just behind Diamond Douche. Yorkie has a better exit than Monkey. Monkey had a really bad exit and entry of Eau Rouge. It looks like Yorkie is going to pass Monkey. Monkey's just going to slot just in behind, and Biddle's been passed up by Noah. So Noah is actually one of the fastest drivers on the track so far. Well, Brediscourt still using their DRS train of midfield Maestro. Not really train, but he's sticking in with half a second behind. So he's dragging himself alongside midfield Maestro to try and catch Nat up. Still got Squid and Rue Master, just lost a couple of positions. He was 10th from ago now. Liam and the Red Bulls both got past him, with Fardo all the way around the back of his gearbox. But again, you see both the Ferraris suffering down in P14-15.
Yeah, it just seems not to be their night whatsoever for the 2 Ferraris. Still plenty of time to go. We've just had a massive, I wouldn't say incident, but a coming together between Fish and Yorkie. Obviously, we've seen Yorkie get past Monkey Boy. He went for a late move on Fish Sticks down the inside of the con. Got that to stick, but on the exit ran out wide. Just hit Fish Sticks off. Fish Sticks kind of returned the favour and pushed Yorkie off as there's a bit of front wing flying somewhere. But yeah, there's a bit of argy-bargy. Fish Sticks is able to stay in front of Yorkie through it, but it looks like this time though Yorkie will be able to get that move done on the next DRS straight and try to get away from this fish train.
Yeah, and the good thing that Fish has got 60% battery, so he's actually defending really well with the battery life that he's got. But yeah, cross-screen, when we're coming into the bus stop chicane, you see lots of carbon fibre come up. I think it's something within the game model, because every time a car goes over there, it looks like the breaker board has broken or a bit of front wing, but it's not. I think that's what happened to Gary coming up into here. You might see it now a little bit come up with Yorkie. But yeah, nothing there. But oh, you got a lovely move there by Diamond Douche, right round the inside of Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy sticks it on the outside. He's getting gobbled up now. You got the Red Bull in the inside. He's going to go for the late move. Squid is, and it's going to force Monkey around the outside. Plenty of room still given. Monkey's still there, so just be careful. Monkey's had to back out a little bit. Oh, we got the Red Bull behind. So had to slow down nearly in the gravel. But yeah, all stuck behind Fish, and Biddle is still behind Noah.
Brewmaster tried to send one down the inside of Liam through Puyon. Bit of contact. Liam had to run wide. Liam tried to look down the inside of him at Lefania Chicane. Just did not work out for him. As
Whoa.
Remaster has a massive slide, so he's going to be vulnerable now all the way up to the bus stop. Liam and Bardo are both going to have great slipstream here, and it looks like Remaster is just going to be a sitting duck here.
Yeah, it does look like that the soft tyres are going to start wearing off now. This is where you'll start to see the medium tyres start coming into play. These soft tyre runners, you've got Liam's lost 2 positions. No, he's lost a position to Fardo, who's actually going around with a broken front wing, so he's not actually doing too bad for himself at the minute. Got Silverside Boy, I think he did pit in the end. He's 43 seconds behind, so yes, he did come in for a fresh set of tyres and wing damage. TJ down in 17th, Cruz down in 16th. He obviously had to come in at the first lap. He's gone into hard tyres. Remaster and Liam are going up over side by side. Oh, they touch each other. Little kiss. That is okay. He's still in the slipstream of Fardo, but we've got Yorkie here getting swallowed up by 2 cars, so he's actually been passed by Squid and Diamond. So Squid is actually on the move here, cross street.
Yeah, it looks like these medium tyres are starting to come into effect, and we can see that from the very top of the field already, with that gap coming down between the top two.
Lexus
yellow.
He's crashed. Has he crashed there? It looks like he's probably got on the grass or the curb on the left-hand side, and he's done a bit of a who was that driver a couple of years ago went into that wall there on the right hand side? I can't remember. But yeah, he's gone into the wall on the right hand side, so I'm guessing it slung him from left to right. But no safety car, it still carries on. So everyone below him goes up a place. And you got Nat still comfortably 2 seconds in front, but midfield Maestro is biding his time. He's slowly catching the Williams driver in front. Your Brediscourt's dropped off slightly. He's on the soft tyres, so you can see now that the medium tyres are starting to work. He's 2.4 seconds behind, and you've got Biddle on the medium tyres, who's actually picked up the pace now. He's only a second behind the Aston Martin who's in front, so he may end up getting DRS up through Eau Rouge into the back straight. No in P5, doing reasonably well in the kick Sauber. Let's have a look at the position change cross screen. So our overall winner so far is Fardo and Noah, who's picked up both 8 places, and our losers are obviously Eagle and Cruz, dropped 8 and 13 respectively.
Cruiser actually had a great start to the race. I think he got 3 guys in turn 1 and then just lost one of the positions. And interestingly, decided to box at the end of the first lap, so he must be thinking that these tyres are going to make it to the end. But it'll be one to look out for towards the end of this race.
Yeah, we got Monkey still stuck behind Yorkie. We got past a couple laps ago. Diamond's having a more solid race though this week. Suffered in Monaco, but doing reasonably well into P8.
Yeah, Diamond, he's made up a couple of positions this week. Definitely it's a good kick on from last week. Just was not his race at all. Around here, it looks like, obviously on the medium tyres, they're just starting to come into effect now. The soft runners are starting just to peel off on the pace, so he'll be looking to try to close in this gap on the Noah. He's only, what, by 3 seconds behind, but he's got the 2 guys in front that are going to help slow down Noah whenever they do get to him. So he's definitely one to look out for whenever that battle in front does start coming together.
Yeah, it's helped by Yorkie in P9's picked up his first 3-second penalty, so he's caught that on the fast straight there. It's obviously going a bit wider. He's actually coming to the pitch ready to get rid of the soft tyres, which promotes Monkey up into P9. Pretty stalemate up the front. Brediscourt has lost a lot of time, but Biddle is now on the back of Brediscourt, and it looks like this is going to be his opportunity to pass Brediscourt for P3, and he has Noah right behind him, so Brediscourt, of course, he could lose 2 positions here.
Yeah, he does have battery. He is burning it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. It's all about Noah now. He's going to follow Biddle. Can he get that gap around the outside? Looks like he does, and it just shows how powerful the DRS are around here. Obviously, Biddle got a great exit up through Rouge and Radion. He was right on the rear of Brediscourt before the top of Radion. That was always a move on. It was all about Noah. Could he get past? crucially he was able to. So at the minute he looks like one of the only ones on the soft tyres that still have a bit of pace about them. The gap from that to midfield maestro's under a second now.
Yep, so he has obviously made his move over the last lap or two. It was only 2 laps ago we said he was about 2.1 seconds behind. He's now 8 tenths. Maybe it's time for Nat to come in and get rid of them soft tyres. I would expect that they're probably at their worst now, around at 8 laps. We've got Roomaster still fighting with Liam. And Fardo in front. So Monkey Boy is comfortably in P9. He's nearly got a 5-second gap. So in a minute, the harsh driver is in P5. He's losing a little bit of distance to Diamond in front. Just outside the DRS zone. We've got Diamond 2 seconds behind Fish. There's a little bit of a train here forming behind Biddle. So you've got P3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And, yep, all in a DRS train. But we do have a Bread is cool, has made the jump. Not too sure how strong is the undercut. Is it quite strong around here? I wouldn't expect it to be majorly strong like we saw in Monaco. How much do you reckon it's worth around here? Because with Bread is cool pitting, do you think he's going to jump a couple of cars here?
I think it's still a good couple of tenths a lap stronger. On the undercut, and especially with them guys in front so closely together, you know, they're just going to start battling each other. That's going to really help Redis Cull out. He's got quite a good bit of a gap here, 2.5 seconds till Hirsch now. His cruiser's just overtaken Hirsch with the DRS, but I can see Redis Cull actually has worked this one out pretty nicely. He's just let the battle happen. He's got overtaken, and now he's just decided to call it, and now just try to get them on the undercut, which I do see happening.
Yeah, and Biddle's making that happen. He's backed off a little bit now. He's about 4.5 seconds behind the Mercedes of midfield master in P2, but they just have a very close squid behind him. Let's just take it on. Let's have a look at TV pod and just let's have a look. We rarely do this, so let's just see the difference in slipstream that can help you try and pass Biddle. He's getting a lovely toe here down the back straight. He's wise enough. He's going to wait till he gets to the pit lane, but it looks like he's going to go for a move a little bit tight on the grass. Biddle's going to go very defensive, but Biddle is going to go and get the DRS, I think, off Squid. Yes, he has. Then we've got Noah and Fishstick both in the pits. Grocery, yeah, let's follow Biddle up through Eau Rouge. See if we can retake Squid. Let's have a look to see if he is having to lift off just yet.
Well, if I've seen anything by last lap of Redis Cull, he definitely hasn't lifted off. We'll make sure of it now. Yeah, foot flat to the floor. It's going to be a good exit. Although he is 5, near 6 tenths behind, the DRS is so powerful that he will be able to get this move done. I would like to have thought, as I say that, it's obviously not as powerful as it was previous seasons. See a big kick up of the underfloor of the Red Bull. Squid's been able to hold this one off for now, but crucially in front, Midfield Maestro's been able to get in front of Nat with the DRS. Now that allows Midfield Maestro now to try to get away, close out a bit of a gap on Nat before Nat does have to box, which I would say is probably going to have to box this lap and allow Midfield Maestro to get away too much with this.
Yeah, when I was looking at Squid, he was only 4 miles an hour slower than Biddle, with Biddle having DRS over. So do you think Squid's gone for a more lower downforce than what Biddle has, and that's why he's made his way through the grid, because the other drivers have decided to go a little bit more high wing?
Well, that has to be the case. We all know the lower downforce in the race is a lot better than what it is in qualifying, so that probably does say why Squid had quite a poor qualifying session by his standards. Obviously down in P5, but could have been a lot more time gained if he had a bit of higher wings, but with the low wings that he has now, Biddle doesn't look like he's going to be really able to do anything.
Sorry, the back end, we got Roomaster around. He's obviously touched the gravel, the curb on the right hand side, and he's careful. Yeah, he's managed to go away. Got Liam steering left and all at the same corner. That's brought out a safety car. How's it gone off there? That is a weird place to pit.
That's allowed Nat to get the free pit stop on Midfield Maestro, so he's not going to lose any time whatsoever.
And
all the guys in front of him will have to pit.
And it's also helped his teammate also P2. Big time.
Yeah, Squid now. Going to be a massive gain on him. It's probably going to come out net P3 once he does decide to come into the box. So the pace that he was showing there with Biddle, looks like this could be a 3-horse race between Squid, Midfield Maestro and Nat.
Yeah, so you can see everyone come into. I would expect people that are on the medium tyres may pop in for the hard tyres. I'm not too sure, but this is going to bring Silverside Boy back into play. He's Paul Gitt. He's been on his own the whole since lap 1, so he's been on his own for 9 laps now. So he's going to be absolutely ecstatic that he's going to actually get some action in this race. Obviously, we don't know what happened into turn 1, but there was a few cars that did. Have to pit. So does he come into the pits? Yes, he's coming into the pits also. So he's the only driver that's decided to pit. Let's have a look and see what tyres he decides to go on. I don't think he'll go on soft. Don't think softs will make it. If he does, he's going being very brave.
Softs will make it. It's all about how they feel at the end of the race. We've seen the soft runners at this first stint not enjoy it towards the last 4 or 5 laps. So I would see a lot of these guys coming in for the hards.
Yeah, it looks like Gary's gone on a fresh set of mediums. And we've got midfield Marshall now pitting. So I wonder what he's going to go on. He's going to have to go on the hard tyres, which he does. Squid's also pitting. Biddle's also pitting. So is this going to... No teammates together, have we? It's going to... And we've got... Yeah, that's another thing. I forgot. Cruz is on hard tyres. He's going to jump right up to the front now. Let's have a look at the tyre usage. Cruz is on 10 lap old tyres, so he has popped up into P4. So, do you think there's a bit of a wheel on? Do you think Cruz should have pitted to make the opportunity to get off them? Hard tyre. There you go, David. You happy now?
I think it's maybe half of one, half a dozen of the other with Cruiser. You know, he could have boxed and been way down in the field, or he's just going to try to take the gamble on the track position and maybe hope for another safety car towards the end of this race where everybody's going to come in for the softs. If that does come out, then he'd be P4 at that time. He's definitely going to be hoping for that there, another safety car in about another 5-6 laps.
So
that does happen, then it's all on him.
Big boss man wants tyres on all the time, so salute. We will listen. Well, I will listen to you. Otherwise, I'll get told off. I might lose my role. I'm just going to get a drink. I was about to call you Cruz, Crossgree. So yeah, I'll be 2 seconds. Okay.
Not a problem, buddy. So crucially, 3 guys are on the soft tires. Seeing how awkward it is for the soft runners towards the last 4 or 5 laps of the stint. So it looks like they could be on a bit of a disadvantage at the end of this stint if it does stay green flag to the end. Cruiser, obviously, we were just talking about. He'll be hoping for another safety car here in another 4 or 5 laps. Surely the rest of the field would have to pit then. He'll be looking to get on a fresh set of softs that will take him to the end. One I would say to look out for now is going to be Fiddle. Starting P5 after this restart, but we did see at the start of the race, he did have good pace. So if he can be able to try to get through this gap here, you know, we could see him for another podium this week. 2 podiums in a row would be great to see from him. We have Nat, P2 on the mediums. Midfield Maestro, can he hold off on the hards? Obviously the hards are going to be a bit better lasting, but a lot less pace in them in the first part of this stint. For the first half, I'd say for the first 7 laps, he's really going to be struggling here to try to hold off Nat, but then it's going to come back at him in the last 5 laps or so. We're going to go around one more time just so we can get TJ and Silverside Boy caught up to the field. Quickly look at the position changes after this safety car. Midfield Maestro obviously up 5 positions, taking the lead of this race after overtaking Nat from a 3-second deficit after the first 2 laps. Another one to look out for is Noah. Oh, that's very kind of you.
So you wanted
No,
to,
he's up 6.
so you wanted position change. Let's have a look for you guys. I'll keep pressing all one. There you go, cross screen.
Be kind, love. Obviously, Eagle was the one that we had a bit of an incident with Grounsey, so he's down 10. So it's quite a good bit of movement there. Only obviously Diamond Douchey is the only one that stayed in his starting position of P11. But it's going to be an interesting one for these last 9 laps.
Yes, it is. So, you know, with nine laps left, there's going to be more pressure on these drivers, and you're going to see them pushing a little bit more now. Maybe more of a little bit more aggressive driving, just to try and get them positions. Biddle and Squid are going to be fast at the beginning, but we saw around lap 6 they started dying off, so they have got 9 laps to go on them, and I think they started pitting around lap 10, so it's going to be close. So if they save their tyres enough, they may just make it to the end, but let's see how they fare against the fresh mediums or bread, and it's Noah. Obviously, Liam apparently got stuck on the curb on the exit, slugging him left, same as what he did in qualified. But by doing that, it has helped his teammate Squid, so he managed to just only drop 1 position in the end after the pit stops, and he's in a good position here to get a very, very good result. Midfield Marshall is going to take a couple laps to warm them tyres up on the hards. So he may be vulnerable to the people behind, especially Cruz, who's going to be very vulnerable. 11 lap old hard, unless it's not very high degradation. But you would have thought that he would have made the opportunity to pit early. Cause I'm pretty sure, didn't he do it in Monaco where he went very long and it didn't work out too well for him?
Yeah, I think you're right there. It just did not work out for him at all. As I say, it's a gamble that he's going to take this time around, hoping for another safety car. If it happens, then it's probably the best gamble he's ever made in his life. Really puts him into a podium fight towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and Monkey Boy's also taking the gamble on soft tyres. So he's looking to gain a few positions. Probably done that to try and get past Fish. Poor bugger's been stuck behind Fish the whole race. He hasn't been managed to pass him. But as midfield Marshall starts backing the grid up, ready to restart this race, and he has gone. He's caught Nat a little bit. He's off about 5 10 to go. He did go wide slightly there, so that's yeah, he's lost the rear end. So Nat has got a beautiful position here to try and take him into turn 1, and he's decided not to. But you'll see a lot of these drivers now use a lot of their battery, and like I was saying, midfield Marshall is struggling with tyre warm up. They're going side by side through Eau Rouge, and midfield Marshall does back off. He's going to look at try and get that slipstream all the way up the hill and onto the straight. Let's have a look, see if he has got enough. Let's go on board with him. Is he going to use some of his battery? He has decided to now. Is he going to go for the move into turn 4? He does not. He just doesn't have the room, and that defends very, very nicely. Got Squid and Biddle. Biddle did get past Cruz in the end like we expected, but you got Squid. Biddle did get past Cruz yet, and Squid is biding his time at the minute. His tyres going to start warming up now, and they're going to start performing the best at the end of this lap. So he has closed that gap to midfield Marshall on the hard tyres, so he's going to have to try and get past as quickly as possible to try and get that win today. Monkey Boy Kurt has moved up to P8, and Fish on the hard tyres is suffering. So he's under pressure from Diamond Douche now. He has been passed by Yorkie and the Monkey, so these hard tyre runners are not faring well at the present moment.
Yeah, I think it's the sacrifice they knew they were going to take for these first couple of laps. The only thing for Midfield Meister is he can't allow Nat to try to gain out too much of time that he did in the first set of this race. As we see Squid going down the inside towards Blanchimont, and that allows him to get up to P2, start chasing after that. Midfield Maestro did not think about even fighting that whatsoever. He knew it's not his battle to do at the minute. They'll slowly start coming back to him. It'll be interesting to see, can these hard runners be able, firstly they will make it to the end, but will they get the tyre advantage in the last 2-3 laps to try to close up the gap that Nat's going to create, it looks like.
Yeah, and we've got Diamond Douche has made his way up into the playing position, and that has dropped Fish Sticks out. Hirsch has made up, he's had a very quiet race, but he's made himself up into a P12, very nice for him. And Eagle's making his way up the grid after colliding with Groundsy. and he's got a very much better exit than Hirsch. He's used a lot of his battery load, DRS wide open, and he comfortably passes Hirsch on the main road. But Hirsch is coming back. He's used all his battery to try and defend, but that obviously didn't work out. TJ is there waiting in the wings in P14. He's got fresher tyres than the 3 people in front, so let's hope for him that he has a good result here. And you've got Fido stuck behind him, and then you've got Gary, Silverside boy, just snuck up behind him on 5 lap old mediums. But yeah, already Nat is managing to pull that gap across. Like you were saying, there's going to be a crossover point at some point, and Squid has actually lost 4 attempts over this course, 5 attempts over the course of his lap to Nat in P1.
Yeah, this is really the crucial time for Squid. He needs to try to get close. He will have the DRS at the minute. We'll see towards this bus stop if he can stay within the 1 second. It looks like he will be able to do. He burns a little bit of battery to make sure of it, but it looks like Nat and Squid are going to be fighting for the next couple of laps, and Midfield Maestro was actually staying with them. So Midfield Maestro will actually be happy enough to stay with the DRS of our leader towards the end of this race. That could be crucial.
Yeah, it's all changing. P6, 7, 8, 9, 10th and 11th. We have now fished back into the points in P9 because we've got Cruz dropping down, and he's got half his front wing going on, and he has pitted. So, like we were saying, it has not worked out for him at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if you may see him retire, or he may go for the fastest lap and hope for a safety car. But yep, fish back into P9. You've got Yorkie in P8, and you've got Brady's Court in P10. Let's put Eagle up into P11. But Monkey is having a solid race here, but it looks like he may get passed by 2 cars here. By Diamond goes ready outside, and Yorkie is getting the old slipstream, but Monkey is using a bit of his battery to defend, which he does nicely. So he stays in P7, but then medium tyres are starting to work on these people's tyres, cars.
Yeah, the medium's probably going to start being this crossover point of the softs. Now, I did say at the start of the race it'd be about 4 or 5 laps that they'll be actually useful for. So we've had 1 or 2 laps on the safety car. It's going to just eke them out a bit more, but we can already see the soft runners aren't making the gaps in that we thought they would. When he's already outside of the DRS of Nat. Biddle can't be able to make any moves on Midfield Maestro, who's on the hards. Monkey Boy's just in a sandwich at the minute. He can't do anything, so it looks like the medium runners at the minute are in the best position.
Yeah, we got a nice little fight going on here between Silverside, TJ and Hirsch. TJ's all over the gearbox of Silverside boy. Oh, he's lost the rear end. He's on the grass. Oh, and he has pushed Hirsch off into the gravel. Oh, I caught that. He was so lucky not to be in the wall. But Brett is cool. Has left the session, so if you can try and get him in as soon as possible, cross street, that'd be great. So yeah, that was nearly another safety car there. TJ lost the rear end and managed to keep it out the wall on the grass. He no fault of his own. He come back onto the track and just accidentally pushed Hirsch onto the gravel. So there was not much TJ could do there. He was on the grass. He couldn't brake or move in time. So he's now just behind Ringmaster, and that's released Gary a little bit of pressure from behind, and he's got Fardo in front to try and catch up. And we got a move here. We got It's Noah on Biddle. Biddle defends really nicely from It's Noah, and Noah's just poked himself back behind Biddle. So Biddle is now starting to lose pace to Squid in front. But as you was doing that, Crossgree at Midfield Maestro and them hard tyres is on the move now. He's now repassed Squid for P2 and he's hunted down Nat.
Yes, he has to hunt down Nat. He's done it the first part of this race. We've seen it when Nat's tyres started to die off. He'll be hoping for a kind of deja vu here the last couple of laps. Gaps at 1.5 seconds. It'll be interesting to look at that maybe in about 2-3 laps time what that sits at. Obviously Nat's still going to have a bit of advantage, but crucially for Midfield Maestro, he's been able to get rid of Squid for now. Squid needs to try to stick with the DRS, try to keep onto this podium. He does have a bit of a gap behind on Biddle. He is under a lot of pressure from Noah.
Yeah, Noah had to back off there slightly. Don't want to try and stick the wheel in there, as we know. Had an incident there in tier 2, 3 this week, and Noah just brakes a little bit late and nearly collects Biddle, but he has a slightly better exit. He's on newer, not newer but older, but the crossover point now is that the medium's going to be faster. So let's just stick on board with Noah, see if he can retake this position for 4th place. Let's see if he lifts off through Eau Rouge. It's already getting a nice slipstream. Flat out. Biddle has a little wobble mid-corner, so that's going to give Noah the traction and the slipstream all the way out through the straight. Biddle has nothing to defend by, but Squid has repassed the midfield maestro, so he used the DRS, and by all that fighting, they've lost a whole second.
Yeah, Nat's going to be loving this here. Seeing these two guys fight, no way, it's just going to allow him to just creep out the time inch by inch, little by little. See, it's already a second, just over a second now from the last lap. So now midfield Maestro has to try to get past Squid again. He knows that the soft tires are going to die off here any lap soon. So it looks like at the minute it's Nat's race, but we can't say anything with about 4 laps to go.
Did British Call join back? You know.
Joined back and then he left again. No, he hasn't joined back just yet.
That promotes TJ up into P13. Silverside Boy is catching Fardo of the Williams in P11. At the present moment, with the penalties applied to Monkey and Yorkie, Fishsticks and Eagle are both going to finish P7 and 8 unless something really bad happens. They are protected from behind for Fardo and Silverside Boy, who both have penalties, but Yorkie's picked up another penalty, so that's 6 seconds. So at this rate, it is going to drop him out of the points. And you've got Yorkies coming to the pits. That's a strange one.
Unless he has damage or...
No damage. He's just coming for the fastest lap.
So, as the Mercedes team
here?
are leading this championship, is he just trying to take points off who is actually with our fastest lap at the minute? It is Noah.
Yeah, so it's a strange one though, because he was still in the points and he had that 4-second gap to Fardo. So yeah, he still would have finished 9th either way. So it was a bit of a weird one there, but Cruz has got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. So I think he's retired from the Grand Prix. He's had enough. We expected that. But Nat looks comfortable up in front. Korsky in P1 with a 3.2 second gap, but midfield Marshall on them hard tires is keeping Squid behind. British Call, we read it already, but Squid's doing very well on them soft tyres, keeping in touch with midfield Maestro. He's got that 1.3 seconds gap to Noah, but as Noah has passed, Biddle's dropped off slightly. We've got a pass here. Fardo's crashed and spun around. Oh, Fardo's retired. It's going to be a safety car. Might be a 1-lap dash safety car here. Hirsch come around the corner and collected him by accident. No fault of his own. Fardo did back off onto the track, but no safety car again. That's going to push Silverside Boy up into P10. But in a minute, Korsky, TJ keeps pushing and pushing. He's going to get a point here.
Yeah, he needs to keep it going. Obviously, as I say that, he's maybe pushing a bit too much, losing the rear end out of the bus stop chicane. That's costing him about half a second straight away. He knows that Gary's ahead with 3 seconds, so he's got a second to play with. He's got the pressure from Bredis Cullen behind him, so he can't afford to sleep too much here. He try to grab a point, but it's all now down to Gary. Can he try to creep out another second to make sure that TJ doesn't get this point? He'll be hoping for Bredis Cull to fight TJ, which he is doing so far. TJ just gets passed by Bredis Cull, so now that it releases Bredis Cull now to try to get the points off Gary and maybe Monkey.
Yeah, and I know Gary's quite a softie, and I wonder if he's going to slow down a bit, try and push and put Bredis Cull off to try and get TJ to get his first points. Would it be his first points of the season? I think it would be, wouldn't it?
No, he's on 6 points at the minute, so he's picked up a few pieces here and there.
Okay, but a bit of confidence boost though. He has done much better this race. It's just the qualifying he just needs to improve on, and then I think he'll be all right. But he defended well there from the Aston Martin in front, but he's just losing touch now. We've got Sector 3, Spinner, I think. Who's that? That was Monkey Boy. No, Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy spun. So he's lost that gap to Eagle. So Gary has now caught up 3 seconds. So yeah, it looked like Monkey Boy spun just coming out of the fast right onto the back straight.
That's not what he needed now. That's going to put him under a slight bit of pressure. Obviously, he does have the penalty as well, but he is on the sauce, and we've seen how much these soft tyres do die off the end of the stint. So although he has 2.8 seconds at the minute, that gap's going to come so much more down. And with Brett is cool already, right on the back of Gary. You could see maybe Monkey maybe lose out on points here if Remaster can try to push the pace up just that little bit more.
Yeah, and I think Gary's going to be sitting duck here. There's not much he can do, and he defends well. He has he decided which way to go. He's just slotted back in, but Brett is cool. He's up into P10. TJ managed to get past Remaster. So his next victim is going to be a Silverside Boy. Let's go further up. Fish has been passed by Eagle. So again, them hard tyres on them people. Apart from midfield margin, it hasn't really worked. It's taken them a few laps to get them all warmed up. Squid on the soft tyres doing very, very well in P3. Managed to get that gap to its nowhere and extended it. Lost slightly out to midfield master in front, but he has got that gap behind him to cover himself, to try and get himself that podium. But another very good performance here by Biddle Crossgree. Started, I think, didn't he start P5 or P4? Something like that. But he's had a reasonably good race, kept out of trouble, and it looks like both the Alpine drivers are going to pick up some decent points today, especially with Diamond. It's going to be a big confidence booster for him. So he's had a couple of troubled races recently. Crossgate. Oh, I think I lost my man. Don't know where he is. But yeah, we have got Diamond and Biddle, and Diamond's now going to be fighting with Biddle, and I believe Biddle's going to be dragging his team out along. She's got a very fast McLaren behind, who's going for the move now on Diamond. Diamond's still around the outside. Got to leave each other enough space. Yes, both cars are doing brilliantly there, but Diamond still then has to pull out slightly, and he does lose that position to Eagle. So Biddle is now going to be under immense pressure from the McLaren, who's going to be on much better tyres than what he has on what he's on. Squid is actually now pulled back a lot of tyres, so he's going for a last lap and dash. He's got one opportunity left. We've got Noah coming round to finish the Grand Prix. He's coming into the end of the last sector now. So
yes, we could be seeing Remaster. Sorry that I was away, but Remaster could actually grab a point here before we do finish this race with that, just with the time penalties.
Yeah, would this be Nat's first Grand Prix win?
I think so, yes. His debut was last week, got P3, now he's going to get a P1.
Yep, so happy for him in P1. He got pole and the win, and midfield master does come across in second. Squid comes away in third, Snow comes away in fourth. Biddle's just going to get across the line in P5, Eagle P6 and Diamond in P7, P8 for Fish in the end.
Mike.
Better. P9, Bread is cool. P10 is Remaster. P11 is Monkey Boy in the end. P12 for TJ. P13 for Silverside Boy. P14 is Hirsch. And P15 is Yorkie. Liam, there's nothing wrong with my mic. It's the effing game. So, yeah. Good end to the race for the Haas boys. Just missed out on points, but P11 and P12 respectively for them. And then we've got P10 and P9 for the Aston Martin pair. But yeah, congratulations Nat, Midfield Marshal and Squid all finished on the podium in Spa. And we're just waiting for Yorker to come across the line. I'm not too sure if he's done the fastest lap yet? Did he get the fast lap? No, he hasn't got the fast lap. See,
It's purple sector 2. It will be taken off Noah if he can get it.
I think he's going to. Yes, he does. So Yorkie does pick up. He doesn't pick up the point actually, but he's taking it away from its Noah. So the game's driver of the day is Rumaster, who finished in P10. So if you'd like to try and invite these drivers, I know no one wanted to come last week, but we'll find out. If not, we can have a little talk about their performance today. But there you go, guys. There is your provisional grid for the result for Spa. So, like we were saying, Nat took pole and the win. It would have been nice for him to get the fast lap, and he could have said that he got the triple. A brilliant race there by Squid. He finished in P3, but it was Noah who was the outstanding one, who started in P30 and made his way up into P4. So he had a brilliant race in the end for himself. And we have Maestro, who has just joined. So we'll just wait for the other two. If the other two do not want to, then we will just speak to our P2 gentleman. And we do have Squid.
But I remember Nat did not join last week, so I don't know if he'll join again this week.
That's fine. If I start with Squid and you finish off with Midfield Maestro. So, congratulations, Squid. P3 today. Qualifying
Yeah.
P5. It was a late move in qualifying to get yourself P5, but just talk the viewers through your race. It's pretty stalemate through the beginning, but you started making your moves. You dropped down a bit. Could you just explain to us at the beginning why you dropped so far down on the grid in the first lap?
Honestly, I haven't really got a clue. I got a pretty decent start, was jumped by a couple of drivers, and I was just like, we're going three wide into turn one. I'm just gonna try not to cause any incidents and back out. And then I turned into the corner, and then apparently that someone was down inside by my rear right. I just got turned round a bit, and then I kind of was just in the middle of the track, and then I had to try and make my comeback from there. Really.
Yeah, you was from the beginning though. When you started losing all them positions, you did quite easily start passing people. Was you running a more lower setup than people in front? Because we was watching you on board. I think when you passed Biddle, and you know with the DRS wide, Biddle was only 4 miles an hour faster. Do you think you just had the faster setup compared to people around you today?
Yeah, I mean, I was running quite a low rear wing, so I think that helped me on the back straight and the Kevel, just because I quite like the low downforce around here because I'm able to use the straights to my advantage, whereas people with the higher like 10, 12 rear wings are struggling a little bit more on the straights.
So the last safety car come out. Obviously, unfortunately, your teammate span out and crashed, which caused a safety car.
Yeah.
Obviously, that helped you quite a lot. You only dropped down one position.
Yeah.
What made you go onto the soft tyres in the last stint, knowing that they only lasted 7-8 laps in the first stint?
I mean, that was kind of my strategy anyway. Because I knew I could make the softs last around 8, 9 laps ish, just because as long as I can keep my nose clean, then I should be able to keep the wear to a minimum. So, I mean, I stuck to my strategy. I was just boxing a little bit earlier than planned, but I mean, I'm not going to complain about it really because it's a free pit stop.
Yeah, was there any weather? Was there any rain that was meant to be for this Grand Prix, or was it just clear all the way through?
No, it was clear all the way through.
Oh,
Yeah.
so crossway David was teasing us. We got excited then. Bastard.
Screw David.
I know. But yeah, congratulations on your P3.
Thank you.
Next week, I'm going to say, I don't even know where we're racing. Where we're racing next week, Oscar?
Give me 2 seconds and I will double check. Yeah. Bear with me. It is Azerbaijan, and it's going to be a sprint race.
So, sprint race, Baku, street circuit. How you feeling
Yeah.
for that one?
Um, it's difficult because last game I was really not the best around Baku, but 22 I was when I was racing in Tier 3 I was really confident around there, so it kind of switches game from game really, but I've been getting along pretty well with this game, so I should be okay.
Good. Well, congratulations again on your P3.
Thank you.
And I'll see you at the weekend. Over
Yeah.
to you now, course great.
No problem at all, and well done on the P3 squad. Great drive. To our P2 man of midfield maestro. P6, I believe, qualifying was. It seemed like quiet enough, and you just kind of appeared out of nowhere to take P2 and start closing that gap in on that before the safety car. Can you just talk us through that first half of the race?
Yeah, hello, gents. Yeah, qualifying was not ideal. I messed up my last run, so I had to abort. So I had to settle for P6. Probably could have got maybe around P3. Yeah, my start was. I had a really good start, to be fair. I think I got up into P5 quite early, and then I think Brownsy and someone else took each other out just after Peon. So automatic two place. And yeah, after that I was just trying to keep it clean, consistent, quick, and I knew the soft's gonna die pretty quickly, so just tried to close the gap on that. Unfortunately, the safety car came out perfectly from that. I thought because as he pitted, the safety car came out, and I didn't get a chance to overcut because I wanted to do a medium to soft, ideally, and yeah, maybe in hindsight I could have jumped onto softs, but I opted for the hards. Because I didn't trust the softs. Because I closed up on that really quickly in the first stint, from maybe like 3-4 seconds back, and I didn't really trust the softs. So with 11 laps to go, and you know they're long laps as well. So yeah, went on the hards, and I knew I was going to be swamped on the start. I started on maybe what 69 degrees tires, and messed up the chicane, and yeah, and that got me pretty early, and Squid got through as well on the softs, and I thought if I can just stay in DRS, you know, hopefully their tires would die, but no, the mediums were the perfect tire for the last stint, so that was pretty much locked in for the win there. But no, GG's to everyone. That was fast today, obviously, but he was super fast, so probably deserved to win anyway. GG's to Squid
Yeah,
as well.
he did have a great race, Nat, to be fair to him. He showed good pace in the qualifying session. Back to yourself, though. Obviously, you're saying next week is Azerbaijan a sprint race. You're going into it now as what I believe is going to be our championship leader. How do you find going to try to fight off there? Is that going to be a possibility?
Yeah, unfortunately, Grancy got retired today, so big points all for me. But I think Baku is like we all know what Baku's like. It could be a lottery. You could start on pole and DNF. You could start last and win. So it's a lottery. Honestly, there's going to be a few safety cars. That's a given. So it's just about being in the right place at the right time, basically. So yeah, I don't mind street tracks. So uh, we'll see how it goes. But literally, it's a spin of the wheel for Baku. Yeah.
Well, it's a big points haul. If you can do it next week, try to retain that championship. But well done on tonight on the P2.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, so congratulations on your P2 and congratulations to Nat for his first win of the season. Before we
Mike.
shoot, Crosby, who is your CoComs driver of the day?
Very quickly, I would have to give it to Squid. Just with that recovery drive that he had to get back on the podium. But there is a good shout out there to Noah. He started very low down in the field to get P4, I believe. And obviously, he was seeing that take qualifying and take the race win. But I think Squid done a bit more than it to have a great recovery drive to get that P3.
Congratulations, Squid, for getting driver of the day. Just to you viewers, make sure you tune in for the Tier 1 race on Friday at 8 o'clock UK time. We, excuse me, we'll be back at Spa. But for now, me and Crossgree will see you next week, same time, Tier 2. Ciao for now.
Bye.